I think the breakaway from an almost elitist art fair offering, the traditional kind of art fair offering, is making a big difference. So you find something that perhaps started out as a fringe event, which is becoming supported by more of the mainstream artists and galleries, and perhaps auction houses like ourselves, gives young collectors an opportunity to acquire work, perhaps at a slightly less expensive level. So it gives new collectors the opportunity to see that maybe works on paper as an entry level to begin collecting are a starting point, and a stepping up to perhaps the more conventional works on canvas, the slightly more expensive works, and perhaps work by more established artists whose work naturally is more expensive. So yeah, I think it's a great kind of snapshot or eyewitness entry into what is happening in the art world and how easy collecting can be. That art fair started in March on perhaps, in the South African context, the traditional art fair, where it's more inclusive in terms of offering standalone artists an opportunity to showcase their work, with a focus on photography, focus on cartoons, so different art forms that are getting their sole areas of focus, which is perhaps less or perhaps more important than in a traditional art fair, where it's almost mixed in with the rest of the exhibition. So you've got focal points looking at different aspects of art, and then the inclusivity of more continental African art. So like the Pajo coffins, for argument's sake, stuff that is a lot more inclusive and again giving opportunity for local collectors to see what's happening in the rest of the continent. Yeah, I think that aspect of it ties in with what that art fair is going to showcase. So I think the two dovetail quite nicely, where within the Art South Africa magazine offering you've got Snapped and you've got the cartoon issue. So you've got almost two subtitles, but again showcasing something different in South African art or even continental African art, and that ties in very nicely with what the art fair is trying to do, and then the next step here is to take it into Johannesburg, and then of course to go continental with it. But yes, I think the dovetailing of all three offerings, it just broadens the awareness of what's available in South African art. So I think that art fair is going to be very different in that it's going to be kind of non-elitist, affordable, exciting, cutting edge. We're going to see artists who don't traditionally have a showcase in perhaps a traditional kind of art fair. So I think it's going to be a very exciting event. You know, the Friday night party is going to be completely different. It's got everything that's fresh and different and new about it, and I think it's what the South African art scene needs. Bambo Sabia, he was an Absolute Atelier Award winner 2 years ago. I think he's one to watch. I think Nelson Makama is one to watch. I think in the photographic space, I think the Aesop brothers, there's a list that perhaps too many to mention. There's so many interesting young artists who are being discovered all the time. So in terms of what comes to auction, yeah, I think those are the guys who are worth keeping an eye on. And then the more established traditional guys, Wayne Barker, for argument's sake, Coral Gittel, yeah, a lot of exciting stuff.